Hey guys, I've added new live shows in Kentucky and Arkansas. I'll announce the dates and the venues in today's episode. Enjoy. Oh yeah, welcome to the show on a Monday. Coming to you from the great state of Georgia. A lot of political poo-poo going on. I don't know what it is. I'm buried in sports all weekend. And if you're not, you're a big girl. A real big girl. The one that didn't get asked to the prom. A big one. Okay. Let's get right to it. No playing around because I was made aware of the show. We have ads now in front and stuff. Hey, the show's people watching, advertisers interested, cut the bullshit, get to the poo-poo. What? No idea. I'm all jacked up. All I got to say is Dodgers are gone. I love it. I hate anything from Los Angeles except Pam Anderson's TV show. Let's get right to it. Trump jabs the Jews. What? What? Former President Trump, glad they put that in there, I wouldn't have known, on Sunday called on Jews. Jews is one of those words, like when I lived in New York, you could say Jew because he's a Jew and nobody, because you heard Jews calling each other Jew or whatever, but it always sounds derogatory, but I love it. Anyways, my wife's a Jew. No, it's not. No, he's not. Anyway, Sunday he called on Jews in the U.S. to be more appreciative of his administration's work regarding Israel. Trump, you remember all the stuff he did. Remember, he moved the capital to Newark. Trump, in a message on his Truth Social platform, said he had done more for the Jewish state than any of his predecessors, claiming he was popular enough in Israel to serve as the nation's prime minister.
I am your voice.
That I would love to see him with a little, what do you call it on his head? Doily? The Palestinians, they're dirty, rotten people. They bomb us on our beaches. He'd make a good one. They love him over there. No president has done more, he says, for Israel than I have. Somewhat surprisingly, however, our wonderful evangelicals are far more appreciative, the Jews didn't like that, of this than the people of the Jewish faith, including my asshole son-in-law. No, he actually helped to break them. But they're right. This story's right on the money. Have you heard anything about the Middle East in a long time? Since all that went down? Shouldn't that be huge? Oh, I forgot. It's a Republican president. I mean, they've been trying to, not that it's all settled, not that, but they've been fighting for a couple thousand years. Even if you tamper it down for a week, you should get a, meanwhile, jerk-off Obama, who had us in a war, got a Nobel Peace Prize. Let that sink into your filthy head.
For getting elected.
For getting elected, that's right. I don't know who voted for him. I don't think anybody did. I'm only kidding. I know all the assholes. White guilt. Anyways, yeah, so he wants the people of the Jewish faith to get a little more excited, especially those living in the United States, he wrote. I wonder what city he's talking about. I don't think it's Burlington, Vermont. Those living in Israel, though, are a different story. God, I love this guy. Highest approval rating in the world, I could easily be prime minister.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God. Look, we all laugh at everything he says, and then you look back on it, you go, wait a minute. He was right about that, too. Why is he not, isn't it unbelievable? It's like being a conservative comic or whatever. You could get a part in a movie, you write for it, they're like, no. I saw him, say Jew on the Howard Stern show. He's not doing that Applebee commercial. We know he needs the money. Hey, did you know, quick note, did you know they shot the last Halloween movie down here in Savannah? Folks, do you know that? I went over to him. There was a year ago. I said, let me, look, I did a episode of Suddenly Susan in 1994. I had 3 lines, something about salami. I said, I'm good to go. And Halloween's my favorite holiday. And they said, get lost. So I handed them a VHS tape. And then they called me like the next day saying, there's porn all over this. I said, I know. Treat me like that. Anyways, Trump is right. He should have got all kinds of accolades from all over the world on this. The Jews, though, there were some Jews in this country, they celebrated right after he moved the capital to Tel Aviv or wherever it was. And they celebrated in New York. You remember this.
Hey yo, what it is, everybody report to the motherfucking dance floor with they motherfucking drinks, they wet ass pussies, they big fat asses and them big brown titties with them pepperoni nipples, cause I'm coming for ya.
What the fuck was that? I got bitches all on my dick and every day, sucking on my balls, licking on my balls, bitches, they know, stick it in that booty hole, my balls, suck on my balls. Come on, all up in that asshole. Let me hit that booty raw. Licking the dick, sucking the ball, swallow it down, beating down your pussy, walk to the ground.
All right. I got to tell you, they were happy over here. Look at that matzah. Or did a cow take a dump on the table? What in God's name, ladies and gentlemen, the dancing Jews. We have them on the show. That's funny till you die. Okay? U.S. Jews have to get their act together, Trump said, and appreciate what they have in Israel before it is too late. And he said, that's a goddamn order.
Yes, sir.
He's skinny in that picture. He formally acknowledged the disputed annexed Golan Heights territory was in Israel, not Syria. I've been saying it for years. You know who knew all the shit? Manny, the guy that owned the Comedy Cellar in New York. He was a professor of this stuff in Israel. And we used to lure people in, I've told you this before, that thought they knew everything about the conflict over there. And we'd sit them down and he would school them. They would be red in the face 2 minutes into it. And he was very polite about it. I have to disagree with you. And I told you, he's the guy. Dallas, did I ever tell you this one? In the cab, guy cuts us off. Fucking Jew. What? Anyways, and he reversed an Obama-era deal that removed sanctions from Iran. Remember that? Idiot Biden. An enemy of the country before his Jewish son-in-law, Jared Kushner, brokered accords between Israel and the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain.
Get this through your head, Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker, you.
That was Biden when he heard. Trump, 76. Wow, he's 76. That's even a patriotic number. How about that? Has previously chided American Jews. Remember, folks, he made his killing in New York City, who mostly lean Democrat. I always said that when I lived in New York. I go, why are they so left wing? I don't get it. For not showing enough support to Israel, a major U.S. security ally in the unstable region. Jonathan Greenblatt, good friend of mine. There he is, right there, right before the toupee. The CEO and national director of the Anti-Defamation League. Let me say about the ADL. They are one of the big reasons political correctness is the way it is. Every time you say anything, they're on you. Anti-Defamation slammed Trump over his comments on Sunday, accusing the former president of anti-Semitism. What?
Don't say a fucking word to me. I'll get up and I'll bury this telephone in your head.
Anti-Semitism? You're accusing a guy who did all that. We have empirical evidence for Israel, and he's anti-Semitic. Just let that sink in, stupid Greenblatt. We don't need, he says, the former president who curries favor with extremists and anti-Semites. He does? Does he really? You know why? He was a businessman. He had to curry favor with everybody, is stupid skinhead. to lecture us about the U.S.-Israel relationship. It is not about a quid pro quo. It rests on shared values and security interests. This Jew-splaining, I didn't know. I didn't know there was Jew-splaining. He says, is insulting and disgusting. He wrote on Twitter. Meanwhile, Trump's former secretary, Mike Skinny Pompeo, said Sunday that President Biden's willingness to negotiate with Iran on nuclear sanctions sent an icy message to the Jews. You know why?
Hates Jews.
He does.
Hates Jews.
I hope the Biden administration, Pompeo said, comes to see their policy in the Middle East has been an enormous mistake, he told John Casamides at the Cats Roundtable. Anyways, all true. Should have got all kinds of... For that alone, he could have been... Well, he was elected again. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells me. Okay? But we're supposed to believe that this next guy won. What's the headline? Brain freeze. President Joe Biden apparently got brain freeze. Not my joke, theirs. Oh, look at him chewing on that thing like it's a 12-year-old girl's pigtails. Get after it, you dirty, rotten scoundrel. President Joe Biden apparently got brain freeze during a pit stop, Jesus, at an Oregon ice cream parlor. First of all, he thought he was in Vermont over the weekend and forgot about the millions of Americans suffering financially when asked about the economy, because they tell you, right? We see the inflation, the gas prices, and they don't believe you lying eyes. Let's take a look at Dinkweed as he enjoys look. I'll give him this much credit. I love waffle cones. I would take a dump in one. And I'm stealing my old joke from the Pam Anderson roast. I said, Pam, your ass is so nice, strawberry frozen yogurt comes out of it. I said, if you had dysentery, I'd follow you around with a waffle cone for a week. You know what she did? She blushed like this, like a little lady. Made me harder than a shark's tooth. All right, let's listen to Stupid.
I'm not concerned about the strength of the dollar. I'm concerned about the rest of the world. Does that make sense?
Can you explain that?
Yes. Our economy is strong as hell.
Our economy, if you didn't hear that through all the background noise, is as strong as hell. He's worried about the other economies across the world that are suffering from the same things. Compared to theirs, ours is strong. That's not how we do things here, stupid. And you have a lot to do with their economies being messed up. Since we are the global power and the American dollar is the standard still, whatever the fuck, when you do business, right? Yeah. So what are you talking about? Why don't you stick that ice cream cone right where the sun don't shine? You know what I'm talking about. Buffalo, New York. Go ahead.
Inflation is worldwide. It's worse off everywhere else than it is in the United States. So the problem is the lack of economic growth and sound policy in other countries, not so much ours.
You know you're a fucking mumbling, stuttering little fuck. You know that?
I would have laughed if Joe said, hey, quiet back there with the fucking pots and pans. I'm doing an interview, for the love of God. And did anybody find my teeth in the pistachio? You humps. The comments by Biden, who was in Oregon stumping for Democratic candidates because they're going to get schooled even in that fucking communist. Why don't they... Oregon, yuck. In Portland, ahead of the midterms elections, he was stumping there in Portland. Comes as United States inflation soars. Yet Joe says everything's fine. That ice cream cone was only $28. And some experts warn of a looming recession in the country. Who are those experts? Nick DiPaolo, who can't even fucking make change for a $5. The dollar, which is the world's reserve currency, has soared more than 20% in the past year, even as stocks and gold and cryptocurrencies are significantly down, and domestic inflation reached its highest level in 40 years. But everything is fine. I'm looking at a graph, consumer price index. I'm the worst at reading graphs. You don't believe me? Look what I got in economics in college. And I cheated off like 3 Jews. I don't know how I fucked that up. But see, in the 70s, in the 60s, I should say, late 60s, very low. Then Jimmy Carter came in, bada boom, bada bang. And then in the mid 80s, that was Clinton, I think. bing, pug, ting. Then it goes back down to like right around 6% in the 90s, and even lower than that, 4% in 2000. Then 2010, it drops. We shit the bed. 2000, and then you fast forward to 2020, and it's 8.2% in September 2022. Okay, so don't look at us, dinkweed, and gaslight us. Okay, turn that cone upside down and have your wife sit on it and spin. Well, what's she got to do with it? The pumped up greenback, that's the, who calls, you see what happens when they write? They don't want to say money, and they just, the pumped up greenback, sounds describing my high school girlfriend, has lowered the price of U.S. imports while fueling inflation elsewhere. Rising fears of global recession. British Prime Minister Liz Truss reversed a plan to tax cut for the wealthy and fired her Treasury chief Saturday. Hope you're happy, Biden, in an attempt to stimulate tanking markets as the British pound sank to a record low against the almighty buck. So the pound is just, oh, that's what you get when you cash it in. Yesterday, Biden called the economy strong as hell.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
According to a recent CNN poll, 78% of Americans say the economy is poor. And see, just take that alone. And I'm watching the news and these shows this Sunday, and all the races, like, this one's kind of close. And how is that? That's why it's all bullshit, folks. Seriously. Every poll and everything should be Republicans are ahead by 150%. In all, I'm serious. It's total bullshit. They're putting fake figures out there to make it look close. That way you Democrats won't get too depressed and stay home. You'll think you still have a chance. That's all I can think. Because it's always the wallet, right? It's always the economy, stupid. Well, there's never been a shittier economy in 40 years. You're going to tell me the races are close? Come on. Look at him. He's at Baskin Robbins, but he thinks he's at a strip joint. He's got the cash right in his hand. Anyways, the economy is poor. Tweeted Rona Romney McDaniel. That's, you know who. Romney's whatever. Chairwoman of the Republican Party. Others use humor to caption a photo taken during the president's sticky messaging. Our economy is strong as hell, Joe Biden said. Well, I already made this joke. Eating a $37 scoop of ice cream. That's a good number. That was $3 a year ago. Somebody else said the dollar, which is used in 40% of international transactions because of its perceived stability, is often historically high. Oh, I thought this was going to be a joke. It's more boring horseshit. It's often historically high during times of financial duress. It rose 22% during the Great Recession in 2008 and jumped 7% in the COVID-19 influenced stock market crash of 2020, said Forbes. There you go. That's what that deserved. You laughed way too hard. Come on, folks. Imagine him looking you right in the eye. He is dead inside. God bless him. I'll say it one more time. Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. Inflation's transitory. Yes, it is. It's going to transition from 2020 when you got into office to fucking 2030, thanks to your handling of it. It's transitioning each year for another decade. Dinkweed. Maniac. Do something. Hey, guys, on a serious note, I'm asking for you to help out here. A good friend of mine, his 16-year-old daughter, his buddy's name is Evan, his 16-year-old daughter, who was involved in a horrific non-alcohol related car accident on Sunday, October 9th, a little more than a week ago. And she's going to have a long road back to recovery. He sent me pictures of her at the hospital, and I mean, operation on her scalp, already had a rod put in her spine, her arm, punctured lungs, ribs, on and on. And so they could really use your help. There's a GoFundMe page that has been set up, and it's gofundme.com/Ariana, ARIANA -grant-recovery. Dallas has it on the screen here. Also, it'll be in the show notes everywhere this episode is shown. So please donate what you can It would mean a lot to them, to Evan and his wife and family, and to myself. So do what you can, as little or as much as you can afford. Just horrific. I couldn't get it out of my mind this weekend. I kept waking up thinking of, all right, let's move on. Thank you guys in advance. Connecticut cops ambushed. This made me sick to my stomach, and I'm doing it just to remind the people out there, the politicians who, I know they watch your show on a regular basis, who are for, defunding the police, which has resulted in a lot of black and brown deaths, by the way, in bad neighborhoods. Nice going. Chilling, but this wasn't a bad neighborhood, okay? Bristol, Connecticut is where ESPN is. It's not that bad. Chilling body cam footage captures the moment a wounded Bristol cop shoots dead the craze. It does not, first of all, right, no, Dallas? I watched the thing. It shows him firing, but you don't see him killing the guy. So quit misleading me with this shit. New York Post or whatever. Bristol cop shoots dead the crazed Connecticut man who fatally gunned down 2 other officers. This is Bristol, Connecticut. And they were ambushed. That's 50-something cops killed this year. Do you know that? Again, why would any of the polls even be close? Unless you're, there's that many Marxist fucks out there. The dramatic police video includes the sound of bullets flying and a woman hysterically screaming in the background while police officer Alec Loreto, he was already wounded by cop killer Nicholas Brutcher, limps around the side of the attacker's Redstone Hill home, gun in hand, and radios for backup. God bless this kid.
He was the best guy around.
Well, he's still around. His partners aren't. But here is the, and I just want you to, don't take this for granted. We get desensitized because we watch so much of this shit in TV and movies and video games our whole life. These are real people answering a call. They kissed their wives and kids goodbye before they went to work. Young guys in a place called Bristol, Connecticut. So it is pretty chilling. Go ahead.
Shots fired, shots fired. More cars, send everyone.
Don't you move, you motherfucker. I'll blow your brains out.
Officer shot, officer shot.
It's actually pretty calm.
Shot.
Hear the lady screaming?
Oh my God.
Where's the cat address? 310, 310, Road.
We just came out from behind the house of
the clear early time there, check him going.
fucking war zone. Bristol, Connecticut, by the way. But yeah, what do we need the police for, right? You know, let's reimagine the police. I do, with zillions of dollars and more money. Yeah, but then they get like military equipment. They're gonna need it. They're gonna need it. All I ask is that you put the name of the town on the cars and trucks, so we know eventually. Because this government, this administration, you don't know who's coming out of the truck. Just, you don't blame me. Read more about the FBI and the horse shit going on. Anyways, Bristol Police Sergeant Dustin DeMonte and Officer Alex Hamzy already lay dead or dying after Brutcher ambushed the cops from behind, according to the video released Sunday by the Connecticut Office of Inspector General. Those are the two guys deceased. Young guy. The IG's office said Brutcher fired more than 80 rounds, 80 rounds at the cops.
You're a crumb creep.
At one point, a man can be heard groaning, but it's unclear if it was one of the downed officers or Brutcher's brother, Nathaniel, who was wounded in the shooting. Laredo then fires a single shot, striking and killing Brutcher outside the house. And then he says, one down, suspect down, he radios in. Investigators said the three cops were lured to the house by a bogus 911 call. Could you think of anything more cowardly and chicken shit and evil? And we're at a side door speaking to Brutcher's brother, Nathaniel, when the killer came up from behind and opened fire with an AR-15 style assault rifle.
When I fucking smash his fucking face in.
You're looking at the creep right there, by the way. Fucking lunatic. Dressed like he's a former military guy. I don't know. Probably not. What the fuck, man? Police have not revealed a motive for the census. Really? Well, let me reveal it for you. He hates cops because he's been told they're evil and racist for the last I don't know how many years, and he bought into it. Congratulations, left again. Tell me Republicans are guilty for that? Ay. Bristol, Connecticut. Ay, ay, ay. You know, Connecticut's like a beautiful state, rich, a lot of money, but some horrible shit happens there. Like the Cheshire murders, when those two guys broke in and raped them, burnt the house down. My wife actually knew the people. What was the other one? The other one I wanted to mention. Cheshire and this here and what was it fucking... Oh, the school shooting. You know what? Stony... What is it? Jesus Christ, help me out.
Not Sandy Hook.
Yes.
Okay.
Stony Hook. You know, Stony thing. Sandy Hook. Yes, thank you. You know, there's some other shit too. But anyways, so yeah, if you're anti-cop, I guess you had a happy day yesterday. Kamala, were you belly laughing? Because you're the ones who Kamala was bailing people out there on the riots, remember? And these AGs like Krasner in Philly and Jerkoff, Alvin Bragg here in the, you know, I say here in New York, up in New York, you know, putting these goons back on the street on purpose. They're sicking them on you. And it's your taxpayer dollars paying these jerk-offs. Just let that sink in. The country needs a real douching. Let's stay on the madness. I saw this headline, and it didn't even faze me. Brown people are white supremacists too. A New York Times opinion writer, by the way, Gutfeld's doing his monologue on this tonight, and it's so good, as usual. A New York Times opinion writer proposed a new replacement theory. In the unfounded conspiracy theory, Hispanic Americans could replace white Americans in terms of engaging in campaigns of anti-black racism. Hispanic Americans would be the new face of white supremacy. They said that about Larry Elder. They've said it about Judge Thomas and any other black who's had the balls to, you know, stand up. And anyways, that's right. Brown people are going to be the new face of white supremacy, not black, but it would be deemed light supremacy. You know, less filling, less hateful. Can you imagine? Brown people, because it's hard to find white racists out in the open because there's hardly any of them left. So now we have to spread the seeds. Fucking. Not funny, bitch.
You're fucking crazy.
I'm just reporting the story. What are you talking about? Okay, if you guys want to read one of the most hateful black people on the planet, works for the New York Times, by the way. So how could you look at the New York Times? How could you read that paper knowing a guy like this who outwardly, overtly hates fucking white people? Just hates them more than Farrakhan. But he writes for the New York Times. How could you read that paper? You're, I don't know. Opinion columnist Charles M. Blow should change the middle initial to I. Look at this fucking, look at him. What's with this? What are you glaring at? See a white person doing something? Charles.
White photographer.
What's that? Yeah, exactly. A white photographer, that's right. Probably is. What's that broad? Anyways, Charles I. Blow wrote an article claiming that Hispanic Americans could soon be the main proprietors of anti-black racism. Is there any other kind? Why do you even say that? Because according to you, there's no other kind of racism. Blow's conspiracy theory is based on an incident that occurred, we talked about this last year in Los Angeles. It's a year ago. Last week, a secret recording from October 2021 between 3 LA City Council members, all of whom are Democrats, by the way, and the labor union leader was leaked online. They are accused of making racist comments during a meeting about redistricting.
You can do it.
Redistricting. Held at a Labor Federation office. What the fuck is good? Redistricting. It's just got a real kick to it. I'm talking about the Crown Royal. Held at the Labor Federation office. The 4 individuals involved in the scandal are Latino, and they are Los Angeles County Federation of Labor President Ron Herrera. They should have been libs eating libs. And LA Council members Nuri Martinez. That's her, right? Yep. That's Nuri. Hey, Nuri. Kevin DeLeon and Gil Hodges. No, Gil Cedillo. Gil? So these are the faces of white supremacy, according to Chuck Blow. The New York Post reported the officials were discussing how to maintain political power in the city's Latino communities when Martinez, that's the woman, reportedly called the black son of a white colleague, Mike Bonin, a little monkey. You're fucking little... Why didn't I do that? You fucking little monk. Don't ever fuck me, you fucking little monkey. She said it in Spanish and referred to her fellow Democrat who is gay as a little bitch. How do I marry this broad? Can I have 2 wives? Wait a minute, my wife talks like this anyways. As a little bitch while offering to give his adopted son a beatdown.
Houston, we have a problem.
No, we don't. No, we absolutely don't. Oh, she's just being honest. And I'm telling the world would be better off if everybody talked like this. It would lower the temperature. Do you guys understand? The more you oppress something, the pressure builds. Do you get it? Until you have a fucking race war. But you don't have to do that. You use comedy and whatever to release some of that. And take the chains off language and let people talk like this. It becomes every day, oh, that's brilliant. It is brilliant. We've tried it your way for 100 years, libs. And guess what? It's failed miserably. I would love if I was walking down the street today and some black guy goes, hey, cracker, you know, how do I get to a, fucking Wings 501, whatever the fuck. What's the name of the place? Why? No, there's a place near my house. But it's always got a number, you know. Wingstop owner, lemon pepper aroma. Poor black and barely got a diploma. That comes from one of my favorite rap artists, Rick Ross. Oh, I want to sing right now, but it's got the N-word all over it. I'll save it for the tub. The Los Angeles Times reported Martinez also mocked Oaxacans and said that's a section of Mexico, a city.
Oaxacans.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I knew you had been around the world. It's Oaxacans? Yeah, I can see that. OAX would be what? How the fuck? Walking? Did you have those in the Army?
No, we just...
moccasins, did you say?
Moccasins, yes. Moccasins. Yeah. No, Oaxacans.
Oaxacans. Oaxacans. Okay, if you say so. I don't know about you. And said, fuck that guy. He's with the blacks. These are city councilmen. These are people telling white people how racist they are and shit, by the way. I see a lot of little short, dark people. Martinez, this is the woman still. I'm getting wet myself. Martinez said of that section of Koreatown, employing stereotypes long used against, the Oaxacans, the Oaxacans in Mexico and in the United States, the outlet added, and I like to play that while I'm spanking her over my knee for being racist. Herrera and Martinez resigned, but Leon and Cedillo have retained their positions on the LA City Council. The New York Times opinion writer claimed that the incident was indicative of a future where Hispanic Americans could engage in white supremacy. What a fucking nutbag. I'm watching a city council going down the drain. Holy Christ.
¡Sí, quédate quieta! ¡No come mierdas al resto de puta!
¿Qué te estás haciendo ahora?
That's the official language.
A para Blanco.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. It is a theory that worries me and that I have written about that with browning of America, white supremacy could simply be replaced by or buffeted by a form of light supremacy, that's L-I-T-E, in which fair-skinned people perpetuate a modified anti-blackness rather than eliminating it.
Who gives a fuck what you think?
Blow conceded the unfortunate reality is that anti-black white supremacy is not confined to white people or to Republicans, even though they court it and coddle it. Tell us how we do that, by the way. Fucking idiot you are. Oh my God. I love it. This is just going to push more Latino people. They're already leaving in droves. Now you know it's out in the open, folks, how they really feel about you. Absolutely ridiculous. Brown people. They have butchered that issue. And let's be honest, that's been in the Dems' hands. They're the ones changing the language and the college campuses, even the middle school, all the they've infiltrated everywhere for the last 40 years. And look where we are race-wise. It's not progression. We're going backwards at 100 miles an hour. I'm going to do a story, for you people that subscribe today, I'm plugging it now, but about segregating white administrators at Ithaca from the black ones. The school's doing it. Yeah, sure. Anyhow, real quickly, guys, make plans to come see me on the road. Here are my upcoming stand-up dates. Friday, November 11th, Palm Beach Kennel Club, West Palm Beach, Florida. The next night, November 12th, Snappers Comedy Club, Fort Myers, Florida. The next night after that, Sunday, November 13th, Side Splitters Comedy Club in Tampa. Friday, January 13th, Saturday, January 14th, Comedy Off-Broadway, Lexington, Kentucky. Friday, February 3rd, and Saturday, February 4th, the Grove Comedy Club at Lowell, Arkansas. Friday, March 11th, and Saturday, March 12th, the Comedy Club of Kansas City, Missouri. It's good to see I'm doing less now, Tom. You can get tickets to all these shows at nickdip.com. What's the headline? Fucking politics. Get it? Well, you will in a second.
Wake up, white people.
That was for the last story. A Manhattan congressional candidate, again, Manhattan as in New York, has released an online porn video. Of course he is. A porn video starring himself in a bid to highlight his sex-positive political platform. Anybody you know that's sex-negative? Seriously. I guess a few nuns and shit and asexual people like Paula Poundstone. You know what I mean? What's her name? Who was a little girl? You'll get this one in E.T. She's famous.
Drew Barrymore.
Thank you. Oh my God, my mind is gone, dude. Too many college games. Drew Barrymore just said in the paper today she hasn't had sex in like 4 years, since 2016 or some shit, 6 years or whatever. How do you do that? Christ, I choked it twice yesterday. The dog, not my prick. Long odds, third-party hopeful Mike Itkis. Dude, you're going into politics with that face? Mike Itkis, who's expected to lose, he's running against Jerry Nadler? Are you shitting me? In New York's 12th district, posted the steamy 13-minute sex tape with adult movie star Nicole. What's the last name? It's cut off. It doesn't matter. Let's call her Nicole Ass. Goodness gracious, Heloise.
Christy, get down on your knees so Sabrina can see your asshole. Phil Collins.
Look at that bum. Itkis said he put it out to prove he's truly excited about legalizing sex work. This is what he's running on. I would think that would get a lot of traction in New York. If I would just talk about it, it wouldn't, he said, it wouldn't demonstrate my commitment to the issue. And the fact I actually did it, it was a huge learning experience. Yeah, you're a real trooper for banging that. Jesus. You act like you just came back from fucking, Iran. And it actually influenced items on my platform. What'd you do, Scotch Guard your mouse pad? What are you talking about?
Will you shut up? Will you please shut up?
He said he posted the video titled Bucket List Bonanza. Bucket List Bonanza to a popular porn website, I couldn't find it, as a conversation piece. You know, like a painting or some flowers on the table. Just a big fucking beautiful ass. Oh my God. Let's listen to him. I mean, with that face, the last voice I was expecting to come out of him is this.
I'm very excited about this race, and I'm looking forward to talking about issues that other candidates are too afraid to talk about.
How about your eyebrows?
He's a fag.
Boy, he sounds it. Didn't he? Not that there's anything right with that. I'm just saying, the footage of him making Whoopi with Sage, how hard up is she for work? She can't get a movie, but she's doing a campaign ad for Mr. Ickes. Holy Christ, lady. I'm running for dog catcher. Get down here. I need a push in the polls. She bills herself as a slutty girl from New Mexico. Getting right to the point. It was his first time having sex on camera, he said. I don't know if I believe that. I'm sure him and his life partner, Kevin.
She's a little whore and a little piece of trash.
Oh, shut up. She's fine. I'm very much an introvert, he says. Yeah, I can see you. You're really cowering in the corner there. I'm kind of a nerd. You're kind of creepy is what you are. I'm kind of a nerd who has 10 babies' fetuses in jars in my fridge. He says, who doesn't like to be the center of attention if I can avoid it? Boy, he's just a lying fuck. He's in the right business. But I thought the issues I'm trying to address are so important. But they're not, stupid. If you look at the polls, that doesn't show up anywhere. It was an excuse to fuck her. You put this whole campaign together to get her. Wish I'd thought of it. I wanted to have my issues talked about in some way, he said. Well, then go on Meet the Press. See how far you get. Itka's campaign page states his background as not married, no kids, surprise, surprise, not celibate, atheist, and says he is dedicated to making sexual rights explicit by ending adultery laws and decriminalizing and legalizing sex work.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
He also plays Dracula every year in his kids' school play. He also appears to target child support payments, writing that men should not be required to support biological children without prior agreement. Well, he gets something right, finally. But Mr. Itkiss, you got to be kidding me. I got to find that. We can go watch that. They said it was a popular site. It has to be Pornhub or YouTube, YouPorn or Beach. Nick, I don't know. Somebody told me. Finally tonight on this fucking show. Ulta Ugly. That's ULTA. You know, the stores are a big chain, makeup chain, beauty products, stuff like that. I used to get my hair cut at Ulta here right in Savannah at the mall. And this is... Walked out of there, the broad, it looked like she carved the Eastern Bloc countries in my head with the clippers. I said, yeah. By the way, I used to get my hair cut at Ulta. It's a store. It's the first time I ever got my hair cut in a store. Like people are shopping 10 feet from me for shampoo and makeup. And I said, what the fuck when I first got there? And they thought it was funny that I didn't experience this. I don't know. I always go to a place where they're just cutting hair. Ulta Beauty is the self-proclaimed largest cosmetic retailer. Well, if they self-proclaim it, why should we believe them? Largest cosmetic retailer, yeah, and I got the biggest dick in Savannah. What the fuck? It's Nick DiPaolo, and I support that message. Retailer in the United States, boasting more than 1,300 stores, holy moly, across all 50 states. In 2021, Ulta Beauty had $8.6 billion. What the fuck? In net sales. I've been in there. They sell combs and deodorant. However, and Jerry Curl. Got a lot of Jerry Curl up in that motherfucker. A recent YouTube video has enraged the makeup company's female customers and sparked a boycott. This episode was hosted by gender-fluid Latinx hairstylist David Lopez. I think this guy's in not the one on the right. The guy on the left is in a commercial during NFL games. I think it's the same guy. Have you seen the one I'm talking about? And he's got a weird voice, and it's for some AIDS drug, is what it's for. Guy's doing double duty. I might have the wrong fag. I don't know. Lopez, who switches from he, him. I guess they're talking about, which one's Lopez? You know, Dallas?
He's the one with the blonde hair.
The one on the left? Yeah. He's the host?
Yeah.
He switches from he, him, prefer. Are people playing along with that? That is the funniest thing to me. Do you really think you can tell me how to approach you and what to say? That is so hilarious.
But even then, it's grammatically incorrect regardless, because I don't go to you and say, hey, Nick, him.
They do, though. People used to go, hey, him, to me all the time. It's how masculine they found me. Hey, him, he, who, ha. Fucking, no, I understand that. But I'm just saying, who would play along with it fucking, you know what I mean? I know it's not a pronoun, but cum guzzler is all I got. Who switches from he, him, preferred pronouns to they, them pronouns. And by the way, not all trans do this. There's like 2 that don't do it out of the 11 on the planet. Based on what gender is selected at the time. Lopez has been non-binary and gender fluid for 2 years. I think they're talking about the girl in the red. Right? Because no? It's what, do you date this guy?
Lopez is on the left.
How do you know that?
Because I built the article.
Because you what?
Because I built the article.
You built it? Yeah. Dylan Mulvaney, comedian actress.
On the right.
But you'd see you'd see why I might think it's the other way around. Fucking with Dylan Mulvaney's name right under the fucking guy with blonde hair. But anyways, and it's about her. So they keep mentioning Lopez, but it's about Dylan. Why wouldn't her fucking name appear 8 times? That's who they're interviewing. And the Ulta, boy, I'm so mad I'm going out to Ulta today. In the Ulta YouTube video, the gender fluid man and transgender individual discuss girlhood, womanhood, and motherhood. They're even pissing off women. I love it. The interview begins with Mulvaney claiming that some people upset with her girlhood series are trans. No. No.
Throwing your son looks like a fag to me.
How can you say that? Look at him.
I suck cock, and I love it. Yummy, yummy,
Once
yummy,
again,
yummy.
he/she, they, what, fag, poop, cuckus, ass biting, pillow munching, fucking cum guzzler, says that we're transphobic for not going along with the little word games. I get a lot of hate about calling myself a girl and not a woman. So I'm guessing this hate's coming from women. And because you know that term, they think I'm Say it.
Infantilizing.
No, that was kind of rough. Infantilizing. Infanticizing. Myself, or that I'm too fucking wired. These are fucking words I use all the time. Once you turn 18, you're no longer a girl, Mulvaney said. So I think some of that's rooted in transphobia. You ever ask yourself this, Mr. fucking fruit cup? You ever ask yourself why you're so wrapped up in your own sexuality? That's all you know? That's all you talk about? Think about? Nick, well, how do you know that? Well, I'm just looking. You're obsessed with your own? I think in womanhood, I get shamed a lot. Listen to the fucking mentally ill for liking pink. I like pink. And liking glitter. I like glitter. What? And I'm like, why does that bother you so much?
That's not what bothers people.
Yeah, exactly. You think it's the glitter? Huh? Do you think it's... For Christ's sake, I dip my balls in glitter on Christmas for the kids. They think I'm lowering their standard of being a woman. Yeah. No, they're not. They know you're a fucking man. That's all. And you're pretending to be a woman. It's that easy. You're complicating it. Mulvaney said as he was wiping a load off his neck, according to Redux, a feminist and pro-women's news website. Lopez, who's a biological male, replied, misogyny, patriarchy. We got a video here? I don't even know what it is. Yeah.
Now I know I can find love. I know I can still be a performer. I know that I can have a family. I want to be a mom one day. And I absolutely can. And that's why the narrative still has a long way to go, because when I was grieving Boy Dylan, I didn't know those things were even accessible to me.
Please give me cup.
Hey, Ulta Beauty, I got to say about that ad.
That's faggot stuff. You want to call it by its name, that's strictly for fags.
Has the word fags ever been said better? Even Lopez looks like he wants to pop her in the face. And he's no fucking Dick Butkus. He's over there going, now I know I can find love. Sure you can. In an alley behind a dumpster with a black homeless guy on fentanyl. You Mary Tyler Moore wannabe, you. The Ulta Beauty, oh shit, the show's 5 minutes too long. The Ulta Beauty Twitter account replied to some objecting to the content of the videos by saying, we want our channel to be welcoming to people from all walks of life, even people you may not agree with. It's bigger than that. After being hammered for the video, the makeup company hid hundreds of replies. Oh, so I guess you're hypocrites. Hundreds of replies before shutting down the conversation and disabling comments. Oh yeah, you want everybody to be welcome there? Unbelievable. The wokeness is a mental. Where are these people been hiding the last, I don't know how many years? Go back to where you were. I liked it better that way. That's right. You heard me. Okay, that's it. Don't forget cameo.com. If you want me to roast a friend or a relative, go to cameo.com. You guys think it? I will say you're very welcome. See you back here at the same time tomorrow. Have a good day.